Welcome to tonight's session where we are likely to head up a river with paddles this time. As you all head down to the river banks out on the outer edges of Cholt, past the nearby docks and other kind of fishier smelling areas of it, one of these small inlet streams nearby, in the morning mist, you can just make out four figures standing next to two boats. Two very cat-like people, another familiar face of the cleric that you had picked up, as well as a face unfamiliar to two of you. A large man, broad chest, smiling, big strip of fur over the front, large, sort of wooden broadsword with volcanic rock as the teeth in it, and a bright, very friendly grin as you approach, who you can only guess from your companion's description to be Shago.
Yeah, this is Shago. Yep. Um, you know, we came to an agreement. Thank you for bringing your canoe, sir.
Oh, well, you're welcome, of course. Anything to get out of losing my head, apparently.
Taking the trip's better than the alternative, yeah. Um, so who's getting on what boat? Did you guys have seating arrangements planned?
All four of them kind of shrug and look between each other, and River Mist says, "Well, one would assume that you want the person leading the expedition at the front of the front boat, but beyond that, we should just divide evenly in some manner."
Shotgun.
All right. Who would you all like to be leading your expedition for the first day of travel down the river?
Like me, I will be in my books. You keep watch. And he goes and sits down in the boat, kind of in the middle,
All right.
pulls out his map. I think he could have gotten a map from the guild. They have like Chult maps or something, whatever they have so far, and he'll start ignoring everyone and just finding his seat and expecting everyone else to do things for now.
We want to keep the map near the front so we know where we're going.
Yeah, I'll be in the front boat. It's fine.
All right. Petrov to the front boat.
Is there anyone besides me wearing heavy armor?
The cleric that you had picked up, I believe, in heavy armor. Shago is not equipped with armor. Flask and River Mist are pretty armor free. Yep.
No
I
armor
should
here.
be in not the boat that the other cleric is in.
Okay.
Don't wanna sink the boats before we even get going.
Understandable.
I'll move into the back of the back canoe.
The back of the back canoe.
Yeah.
All right. And Mirik just not in the same boat. Do you have a preference on front or back?
I'll be in the back.
I'll go in the front boat then.
Here that leaves you cleric that needs to go on the opposite. This is like the goat and the chicken and the coyote problem, isn't it? You put the so you put the cleric in one boat, put the other cleric in the other boat. All right. Then we have Shago, who's rather large, Flask of Wine, and River Mist, who are both fairly small.
We want Flask and or River in the front to tell us where we're going, right?
If that's what you'd like. Yep. You are spoiled for options when it comes to guides. We can put
One in each, just in case.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I like it. All right. So, as you make your way down the river, just heading into that kind of almost entryway created by the multiple roots and large jungle trees overhanging the area, it gets just a little bit darker as you pass under them, but it is still a sunny day in Chult right now, which is kind of nice. It's a little humid in here. There's still the mist settling in and around the ground. Uh, overhead, you can hear the sound of what seems like jungle birds and that sort of thing. Your guide continues to take you down the river, which thankfully is not hard to follow, as they rolled a 4. But continuing down it, can I get perception checks out of anybody that might be paying attention to some of the flora and fauna around you?
I'm paying attention. 18?
Kind of keeping an eye on anything that might be following us or watching
Okay.
from the shoreline. I see nothing.
We've all got a bad habit of seeing nothing. But with the 18, you do hear this slight flapping noise overhead that you at first think might be some sort of exotic bird, perhaps, or something that flies. But as you glance upward, you see what appears to be a snake body with a pair of white wings fluttering along through the sky just above you. And as you look, there's a small flock of them just going maybe 10 feet over your head right now.
I'll pretend like I'm not really, like, this is old news, but really, I think it's really cool. I've been in the woods before. I've seen that before.
All right.
Not really.
Well, as you head on past the general snakes and other accoutrements, it seems surprisingly nice in at least this first little stretch here. It's quiet. You occasionally hear something large breaking through brush nearby, but your first day of travel is overall quiet on the river. Maybe it's being so close to the city and on the opposite side of the undead problem, but it's not too bad through here. As you go to set up camp for the night, would you like for your guide to try to determine a spot to camp, or would you like to determine one for yourselves?
Surely the guides know best.
I trust their judgment. That's what we hired him for.
Good trust. So, looking out to the side, Flask kind of points out this overhanging tree that's on the bank, and it looks like you could fit fairly well into this tiny little area near the bank, and as long as you don't get any heavy rain for more than 2 days, you wouldn't think it would fill with water. Should looks to be a fairly good place to set down the boats without too much of an issue.
Set up camp.
Okay. So for the first time that we set up camp here, I wanted to determine things like watches. Are you all a 2 watch at night sort of party? Leave it to the...
Yes.
All right.
I don't know if any of the guides want to sit up, but we're definitely taking watches.
Any of the guides will volunteer to take a shift if needed. There we go. Put your camp up for you. So, as you're setting up underneath of this tree, getting a small fire going, nothing too noticeable, and cooking a little bit in the way of dinnerish rations. Let's see here. Petrov, you in particular recognize something off to the side of the path. One of the flowers, kind of large and red in color, but with 3 different colored flowers coming off the top of it, is just moving slowly like it's in the wind, but you recognize the picture inside the book kind of flashes into your mind. And this thing is mildly sentient, if you recall, and highly aggressive sometimes.
Aggressive. Hmm. He'll keep his distance a little bit and he's got dark vision, so I think he can sort of see the area around. This is the sort of thing you just have to keep away from then.
You know from reading the books that they've been known to attack campsites at night if they think they can get away with it.
Hmm. We have friends. He'll kind of point and kind of look over them, and he'll attempt to make a dramatic, scary kind of sound using thaumaturgy.
Okay.
So he'll try to conjure up what he thinks might be something fearful to them. I'm not sure what his intuition might decide, but you'll see him sort of go, "Get away, creatures!" And they'll be like, boom, 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 boom. It'll probably, maybe not be so loud that it tells the whole jungle where we are, but it's enough to kind of like make a creepy whisper that like hopefully will resound with them. So I'm not sure if that's an intimidation roll or what.
You can make an intimidation roll for that if you would like to, yes. You could try to make a persuasion roll if you're going less scary, but it sounds more intimidating and
Yeah, and my intimidation is garbage, so. Oh, actually, I rolled a 1, so that would make it a 0. Or no, I think it's a 1 after the -1. So yeah, he got a 1.
okay. So as you are making a big intimidating show and your friends are all kind of probably at this point looking vaguely your direction, watching you intimidate the direction of the jungle in general, you watch as the plant starts shuffling quickly towards you. Would you like to roll initiatives?
I seem to have used the mating call. Oh,
We've all done it.
I always get those mixed up. All right, Anish.
I love having a positive initiative.
12.
All right. Let's see here if it'll let me add some turns. Here we go.
I apparently do not have my token selected.
You can try it one more time. It might work. Maybe. I just added another turn to everybody, so.
That one worked.
Sweet. Sweet. Alright, and a 12 for Petrov, because it didn't catch his. $21 for Clyde. Yep. 15. All right. So, as this thing shuffles towards you, and at the vaguely panicked noises and commentary about mating calls possibly being accidentally made, Clyde, you are up first as you hear this kind of crashing through the jungle in the direction of your friend Petrov, and you look to see what appears to be just this kind of large flopping flower headed his direction.
It's the first night here, and you're yelling into the jungle. Like, this is not a good survival plan, okay? So I'm gonna, I'll saunter on over toward, where is he? Where am I? Oh, okay. I'm standing right next to you. So I guess I will move. I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm gonna draw my short sword,
Okay.
and then draw my dagger, and I will hold my action to attack this thing. If it attacks him, I'll stab it.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Wait, where are you at? You're over there. You are not Mirik. So
You are between it and Petrov right now.
okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. How about I move to here, and I'll try and swipe it as it goes past. I can't stealth, so I'll hold my action to attack it as it goes by.
Okay. Right. That brings us down to Siobhan. You are. Let's see, where are you in here?
I'm right here
Yep, there you are.
by the cleric. I'll just kind of back up so I have a better line on it, and then let's just try and get rid of it. If I solve this problem, I'll shoot at it with my bow.
All right.
Does an 8 hit?
Unfortunately, no, it does not.
I think I was aiming at the wrong plant. There are so many of them out here.
Just flies into a nearby Venus flytrap.
It's a warning
falls
shot.
over.
It's a warning shot.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
All right. One warning shot fired. Petrov, you've got the best view and understanding of this thing.
Yeah. I don't see it on the map exactly, but
It
Here?
is this
oh, that okay. It blends in so well. I believe I
Camouflage.
can. He will use. I assume it has some intelligence. So I'm going to use a mind sliver. So I think he's just enough in range. Let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, exactly in range. So he will calmly sort of send out, put his hands on his temples a moment and look to the thing, and send a mind sliver to it. And it's DC 14.
okay. Intelligence, wisdom,
Intelligence.
that work?
One psychic damage.
I had one of those last game.
Yeah, but at least it messes him up if it works, because it gets a minus on its save. It gets a. Well, let's see if he makes a save.
Well, he is not likely to make the save.
Not smart.
Not very. Just enough, but not very. So it will take it does fail to save. You said it
Right.
takes 1 point of damage and
It gets a minus D4 on the next save.
okay.
And
The
that's it.
Okay. The plant is far less capable than it was before. It might even get lost on its way over to you at this point. Mirik, it rolls down to your turn as you watch the plant somehow look confused, which is hard for a plant.
He kind of looks at it, mutters a few words, and it is encased with a blackish flame. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on it.
Okay.
How's its dex save? Yeah, dex save.
Okay. Let's see here.
And then add the D4. I don't know if it won't make it won't make any difference.
I mean, I could roll a 4, so. And I did. So that is a 14 on its save.
Still makes it.
Yeah, it still makes it.
Yeah.
Was close. Closer.
Good roll. Very good roll.
With my bonus action, so I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Clyde. I
Okay.
assume that they're not ranged, are they? No? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought then.
I got a short sword and a dagger out right now.
You feel a magical essence around you, and your AC is +2.
Whoa, hey, this feels all wonky.
All right. Does that end your turn, Mirik, as you bless your compatriot?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right. The at this point highly confused flower continues its way forward. It'll stop off at you, Clyde, since you're in the way there.
Yeah, can I stab it with my short sword?
You sure can, since you've been holding that.
How's a 11 do you?
An 11 does hit it.
Really?
It has a surprisingly low AC, just not 8, unfortunately.
Wow. take wait, what? Take 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay. You manage to cut through a little bit of the base stem of it, and you watch as some of this green fluid kind of starts leaking out onto the jungle floor.
Yeah, you like that plant? Come on.
All right. Does a 13 break your AC, Clyde?
No.
Wonderful. Uh, it tries to. You watch as the red flower kind of comes out and almost pops you in the face, almost like somebody trying to punch somebody with a bloom, which is not the most threatening thing. But as it does that and seems to miss you, you watch as the yellow blossom comes around. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, you betcha. This one. That's going to be an 8. I dodged so hard right into that yellow bloom, let me tell you.
All right. Well, you are covered in, as it spews out kind of this corrosive sap all over you. You start taking 5 acid damage at the start of each of its turns. If you want to figure out dousing yourself with water, it'd probably take about 5 times to try to get it all off. It's very sticky.
Oh, it burns. It burns. My flesh is melting. Please help me.
With that, at the end of its turn, you take 5 points of acid damage, and it is your turn.
All right. Hold on. You said 5 points of acid damage, right?
Singular, yes.
Okay. So, and you said this stuff's sticky?
It is quite sticky. It is a corrosive sap that it has sprayed over you.
So I can't try and get it off. Like, it's not like in. How can I rid myself of this? Could I, stop, drop, and roll?
That's what I was
Rub
going to
some
say as a joke.
leaves on me? Like, is this a full? Like, do I have to use my turn to get rid of this effect, or is it a try and see if you fail type sort of thing?
It's like you can go get in the river and try to wash it off for your turn if you want, but short of that, somebody with maybe enough prestidigitation or soap.
Okay, so more important things. There's a plant here that's trying to digest me, so I'm going to go ahead and take my attack and my bonus action attack against this plant.
Sure.
I look back towards Mirik and say, I think this is the end. Does a 25 hit it?
A 25 does, yes.
Amazing. My bonus action dagger. Does a 12 hit it? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's 6 points of piercing damage from the dagger and 7 points of slashing damage from the short sword.
All right. You finish the slashing motion that you started, separating the plant stem in 2 halves, and you all watch as the top half falls over. The flowers are still wiggling around on the ground, but you don't think it can move anywhere at the moment. So it is incapacitated.
Mirik, I'm about to dissolve. This is bad.
You just hear just a big heavy sigh.
We are out of initiative if anybody would like to do anything to assist the very sticky covered halfling. You can also
I'm not
just
going to touch him if he's sticky.
chuck him
I
in
don't
the
want him
river. It's
stuck.
up to you.
How far is the river from where we are?
You were camping pretty near to it, so maybe 30 feet.
Can I use shape water to get the water from the river and sort of, let's see, the range is 30 feet. Could he get Petrov kind of get within 30 feet of the river and splash water from the river to his friend?
Sure. Yeah, if you use that spell, I would allow you to just kind of take the second to sit there and get your friend fully decoded from this.
Yeah, I'll just water bend him, and splash him with a hose and hopefully knock him into an embarrassing position on the ground when he's done. Blah! Fire hose.
No, I'm gonna try and dodge it. Is it the river water?
River water.
It is, but it's not going in your mouth or nose at the moment, so it's not a thing.
What are you doing?
I'm
Those
closing it
things more
down.
dangerous than the acid. I run. Okay.
You stop burning, so that's really nice.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Petrov, for really stopping my skin from melting off. Wow, that's so great. Next time you yell at a plant, you kill it.
Sure thing. My apologies.
So what was that anyway, expert? What was it, huh?
Gee, I'll make a roll.
Ooh.
Page just reloaded, sorry.
Oh God, he got a 23. That's pretty sweet. Well, that was the Usensi's Floralita, well known in these parts.
Uh, that might be the Choltian name for it as the Latin name.
Right.
It is called a triflower frond. It is a plant, basically, but it has a habit of sneaking into camps, and one of its flowers that it did not get to use can cause someone to be unconscious. So between that, its melee weapon flower, and its sticky flower, it likes to catch and slowly digest people.
Nasty things. He describes this with a kind of excitement, like he really appreciates the design of this creature and how it murders things.
And in your
Hey,
research, did you see anything about yelling at this plant or speaking to this plant to alert them to your
Well,
position?
yes, and I did it perfectly. It wanted me. I called it. It thought it intended to mate with me, I believe. And you got in its way, so it attacked. I got it backwards. I'm very sorry.
Were you
It's also,
intending to mate with it?
well, I wanted it to go away, but no, I didn't mean to. I'm not into that sort of thing.
I'm just a little confused about what your game plan was attracting this to our camp.
I was trying to scare it. It was there. I saw it. I tried to scare it away. But, there's a fine line between love and hate,
I see. Well, maybe we should avoid talking to the flora and fauna while we're out here.
Well, I
Hey,
don't know. We
Shuban.
learned quite a bit from the flora and fauna around here. There might be some benevolent ones for all we know.
No, but you did say that it has a knock you unconscious flower on it. Can you point that out? Maybe me and Shuban can put it on some arrow tips.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Like, really, I don't know what I'm looking for. Is that the yellow one, the red one, or this other one?
I imagine I will know that.
The red one is the melee, the orange one is the knockout, and the yellow one is the acid.
It feels like a survival check or something, right? To extract
If you want
whatever
to
juices.
If you want to extract it safely, especially the acid, that would be my recommendation. Yes, a good survival check.
I don't know if I'd go for the acid, but the knockout could be useful.
Could
Do you
be.
mind if I help you? I got little fingers.
Sure thing.
All right, I'll assist you.
All right.
I'll keep the hose ready.
So you can take that with advantage, Shivan, if you want.
18.
You manage to harvest a small, almost coin purse sized bag of kind of a dusty powder that was inside of the pollen of the flower itself, that you're guessing is what causes the sleep effect.
Nice. Put that in my inventory.
One bag of sleeping powder. So, after your flower adventure, you are left with the darkness of Chult. Who would like to go on watch for the evening?
I'll take first watch.
I will join Mirik first watch, and Clyde shows up. He's got his fishing rod out. Okay, I think the river's right over here. We'll just fish, okay? We'll just keep an eye out. Yeah?
You sure you want to eat anything that comes from this river?
There's treasure everywhere. Okay, I could throw in a hook, all right, and pull some magical ring out of a river that's been lost for hundreds of thousands of years or something. I don't know. Let's go. It's Cholt Lake. Lean into it. Okay, we're here. We're on vacation. Let's make a little money. Let's catch some fish.
Don't let me stop you. And it just sort of
Amazing.
watches you go off, but doesn't come right to the bank.
You know, this was my job on the boat. I was a fisherman. I'll just start fishing and keep watching. Can't hear you.
If one of you wants to make a perception with advantage and the help of the other, you can. Uh, if you're intending on actually fishing Clyde, I would like a survival check.
Okay, I will help Mirik look. And then I'm gonna break back.
Nice.
Very nice. So, looking out into the night, you don't see or hear a lot going on in the jungle that seems like it shouldn't be there. There's a lot of wildlife around you at pretty much all times, but there's nothing that seems overtly threatening. At one point during the night, you do hear what sounds like, probably a fair bit away, somebody whistling, like to themselves.
I just kind of note that and just watch or listen out and see if it gets closer.
It does not get closer, but you start to hear other noises in between it, almost like the sounds of somebody setting up a camp.
I'll come over to Clyde, finally sit down beside him after like an hour. Sounds like we're not the only ones making camp this evening.
It's a really good fishing hole. You know, if it wasn't dark, I bet you could see all these fish swimming in this river. I've had bite after bite after bite. I mean, I don't know what I've landed yet. I can't really get a good look at it.
With my dark vision, can I see?
Uh,
My
in,
dark vision is very extensive.
um, you can see a lot of the detail of the jungle around you. Unfortunately, it is a jungle around you. So, looking through the nearby trees and things, you don't see anybody in the immediate vicinity. If they're there, they are far enough away that they are behind a couple layers of trees, bushes, and plants.
Do I see any fish swimming, maybe collecting in more of a one spot compared to another?
Taking a glance down at the water, you can see a few of the larger, darker forms, not like crocodile large or anything like that, but reasonable sized fish. Uh, there's a small hollowed out kind of section next to the river where it looks like a few of them are going under into mud banks and coming back out.
Cast your line over in that spot. I'm sure you'll catch something of note.
Wait a second. Did you say we wasn't alone?
He'll kind of point off in the direction that he heard the whistling. Sounds like it's a bit of a ways off, but
When you say a bit of a
man,
ways, what do you mean? Like 100 feet? Like 1,000 feet? Or like indeterminate jungle direction?
probably more of the last one. Can I tell how far,
With,
roughly?
with that perception check, you would guess probably 200 feet off in an easternwardly direction.
I tell him that. Still a bit of a
That's
ways, but
that's pretty close. You want me to go check it out? I could be back in 5 minutes.
As fun as it would be to watch you walk off to your death, perhaps maybe when you're not alone, who knows what the whistles could be, or you could be eaten alive and we'll never know, and you'll never find more treasures to add to your stockpile.
I ain't got a stockpile. I'm just trying, you know. So, how about this? I'll go slip over there. If they're a threat, we can wake everybody up and we'll just bushwhack them, take all their stuff, and then we'll be better off. Yeah. They,
Well, it's your funeral. I suggest maybe not the giant pack of pots and pans if you're trying to be sneaky.
oh no! I'm just taking a couple of bags here. I'm gonna grab 3 or 4 bags of caltrops, and I'm gonna hold up my. Let me let my cat out. Hold on.
Sorry, our cat screams like a child. It's great.
Okay, I'm gonna strap on like 3 bags of caltrops. I'm gonna hold up a whistle. If you hear me blow this, come running. Okay, all right. And just in case if the whistle goes bad, I hold up a little bell. I'm gonna be ringing the shit out of this. Okay, so like if you hear those 2 things, it means I'm in danger. Please come save me. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a whistle?
Hang on now, I gotta look.
Maybe.
Is that,
I got
is
like
that standard
5. You need an
starting
extra?
equipment?
No, you gotta buy it. It's a signal whistle. You know, here I got 5. Here, you take one. So if you blow that, I'll come back knowing that you're in danger. See, communication, reliable.
Yes. Has this been used before?
Yeah, it sounds like a high pitched screeching sound. You know, like a whistle.
He like wipes it on his pants. Thank you. Don't die.
Yeah, it's way too early in my life to die. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna just trek off in that direction. Um,
Okay.
I don't have dark vision,
Uh-huh.
but I'm gonna go that way and just kind of like
Uh-huh.
keep an ear out for the
You want to make a stealth
thing. But I'm gonna stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to. It's a 19 stealth check.
Okay. You make your way through the dark underbrush and the trees and hit your head off of several branches, but quietly. So it's just that continual ow as you get poked in the eye by something. But as you head deeper into the jungle proper, you can't see what's ahead of you, but you can just make out the sleeping form of something large. It appears to be using a living, also snoring sheep as a pillow. Kind of this large humanoid form with its back to you, the sheep tucked up under its head, a large arm holding the sheep looking as comfortable as it can be, being used as a pillow.
I'm gonna look for any other people or things that are not sleeping.
Just looks like a small camp with a slightly embered fireplace, cooking pot set up, and you can see off to the side what appears to be 3 more sheep, also tied off with leashes to a tree.
And how big is this thing? Is it like a 2-foot person, 6-foot person, 20-foot person?
It's a little hard to make out in your current light and without dark vision. So you know that it is significantly taller than you, and probably taller than most of the people in your party. You put it somewhere around 13 feet.
Ooh. All right, I gotta try and get close to see what species they are.
Without dark vision.
No, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna cut. You know what? I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead and go back with valuable information
I'm just asking. I'm asking the important
before
questions.
Bruno here chases me back to camp.
Okay. You make your way back using your same stealth check. Merrick, your friend, makes their way back into camp.
Okay, big fella. I mean huge. Okay, he's got sheep. He's sleeping on one. That's how big his head is. He's big and dumb. He's sleeping on his livestock, not with, on.
Well, did you happen to catch what it was?
I can't see so good in the dark.
Of course you can't. Listen, if we wake up another, I can come with you and share some of my vision with you.
They're real big, you know. Are you good at being quiet?
He looks down at his chainmail. No.
Because you're kind of, I mean, no offense, you're huge too, okay? Like massive. So maybe it would be better if you was there. Maybe you wouldn't eat me if you woke up and you was there, you know? So yeah, let's just wake up the next watch and then we can go spy and yeah, sounds like a great nighttime activity.
All
Who are we
right.
waking up?
Did we determine who's on next watch?
Oh yeah, it's all
Just
up to
the other
us.
two?
I'm gonna wake up the book guy.
All right, I'll
Ex-
wake up the. I can't
Excuse me,
remember which even is.
Mr. Petrov.
Oh no, I like it. Oh. Huh?
You like
Anyway.
what?
Oh,
Mr. Petrov.
no, you're not. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
different little person, okay?
yes. It's my turn. It's my turn now.
It's your turn, but me and Mirik's gonna go on the walk. Now wink at you.
Where are you going?
We're gonna go spy on some huge dude sleeping on a sheep. You wanna come?
Well, yes.
It's a fluffy sheep.
Yeah, I can quite certainly. Maybe why don't we all go? I mean, as long as you're
What?
waking me up.
Listen, peeping's only cool in a small group. Whenever a large group does it, it gets real weird.
All right, I'll go with you. I'll go with you if you like. I imagine we can be reasonably
Can you
quiet.
see? Can you see in the dark?
Yes, you mean
Okay.
yeah, of course. It's not dark to me.
I can't. I can't. You
Huh.
know what? Maybe you and Mirik, you guys can go check out this guy. He's like
What is
200
this?
feet
What
off
is-
in the.
What you met somebody? Who is this?
Mirik has all of the information. I'm actually going to go to sleep. You know, your sleeping bag looks pretty warm. You mind?
Um, hmm. He's a little uncomfortable about it.
Oh, fine.
I
Don't worry.
think-
I'll just go. I'll just go roll out my towel.
That's all you brought? You just brought a towel?
Oh no, the sleeping bag's way in the bottom. Okay, I took first watch. I was fishing. I didn't set anything up. I'm not going to trouble everybody with all my equipment.
Oh, fine. Take mine. Just make sure you're clean. And he does a little thaumaturgy to sort of shake him up a little bit to make sure there aren't any bugs on him. Ticks. Yeah, he'll Petrov's will begin to head towards that direction and have a look.
Amazing.
You want me to stealth?
If you would like to stealth, that is a wonderful thing to do. Are you taking
yeah.
Mirik with you still, or just by yourself?
I think it's probably, well, gosh, a 5. That's not great. I already rolled, but I was going to say maybe Merrick would be backup, maybe staying behind me a bit.
Okay.
But I rolled a 5, not great.
Yep. So you go stealthing your way forward, and you're maybe 15 feet into the 200 foot of the jungle before you start. Despite your dark vision, for some reason, you're just missing all these large sticks and slippery rocks and
Yeah.
just clattering already on your start of the way there. If you stop to listen for a second in the distance, you can hear the snore kind of cut off for a second. And you freeze where you are, and you hear it kind of just hesitantly start up again.
Yeah, I'm going to stay still for like a few minutes, just terrified. he's sort of like calmly trying to like keep the jungle smooth. Maybe use a little thaumaturgy to sort of create that white noise and help it go back to sleep.
Okay. Somewhere in the background, a wimba whip, just playing.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. You hear it eventually kind of seem to start snoring again. It's a humanoid-esque snore from what you can hear.
All right. Well, if it seems safe enough, then I'll go. I'll try to get closer. Another roll.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you want
All
to keep
right.
your 5.
Yeah. No, I much prefer not. Yes. Ooh, a 6. Much better.
Yeah, that's great.
Another 15 feet,
Burn.
and
So as you go moving
Stealthy.
your way forward, you make it pretty far in, and within sight of this large, sleeping, kind of hulking form just slowly breathing, when you step down on one of those darn slippery rocks, and you hear another one of them clatter away, you hear the thing snort and watch as it sits up, a good 7 feet tall sitting. This big head you can see from the back with these ears just begins turning back and forth, and you watch it get up, kind of carrying the sheep a little bit like a suitcase. It itself is wearing sort of a loincloth situation, and it sets the sheep down, and as it turns back towards the fire and looks out into the woods, you watch it squint with its one eyeball right in the middle of its head.
oh, I think I know what this is.
You watch it sniff the air, and you are thankful for the moment that you are behind a fair amount of jungle bushes, and you do know from just general folklore reading that if there's one thing Cyclopses lack, it's depth perception and very good sight.
Um,
It
Very
is.
good. Well, he'll try not to be seen, and I think conceivably he could. I mean, this isn't really his shtick, but he could use the thaumaturgy to create some sound or noises, kind of in the jungle in a different direction, to try
Absolutely.
to throw him off, try to draw him like toward another direction,
Mhm.
and get him to turn around.
What kind of noise would you like to make in just the opposite direction of yourself?
Yeah, kind of like an animal, like through the the branches kind of moving and that kind of thing. So that something's moving through the brush trying to get away. Basically, whatever noise I would probably make when I'm running away. Uh,
All right. So you cast that bit of thaumaturgy, and you can hear the of what sounds like a possible wizard tripping over sticks and rocks. Somewhere out on the other side of the woods, you can see it swiftly turn its huge hulking shoulders that direction, and it just kind of stumbles that direction a little bit, looking out, obviously kind of scanning the area for whatever it is it can see. So if you want to attempt to make a stealth check now, you can.
yeah, I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
You do have advantage because you are putting the same noise at the other end of the field.
Oh, good. Hopefully, oh, I clicked it and it didn't go.
Oh no, that is
I'm
weird.
gonna try to. There we go.
Okay,
Oh, it did go. It was 12.
very cool. Well, though you do see it sort of turn your direction, your sound is still going from the other one, so when you lose sight of it, you watch as it's kind of standing in the middle of its field doing a little bit of a ping pong back and forth, looking desperately, trying to figure out what is running around its camp and possibly why. But you think that you have lost it being on your trail for the moment.
All right, I'm gonna try to get back. Kind of move half speed just to make sure I don't trip again, and try to get back to the group. I don't know if they heard me, but they probably would have heard like a oosh, and then the noise from that, and so he'll come stumbling through the woods and sort of go, "It's a cyclops," and he'll look to those there.
So much for silence. And he pulls his bedroll over his head.
I suggest we either move or take up arms.
You're
Willie hasn't come into camp, and unless we give him reason to, I think we'll fine for the time being.
All right. Well, I'll keep him watch. This is sort of my fault. So he'll keep his eyes toward the where the Cyclops is.
sure.
And I hope to God he doesn't come our direction.
If you just want to go ahead and make a general perception check.
All right. Whoop.
Nice.
Not bad.
So with an 18, as you're kind of just keeping an eye out for the rest of your part of the watch for that evening, it seems fairly quiet out there. Occasionally you hear what you think might be the Cyclops talking, but it sounds as much like somebody talking to themselves, and likely not in a language that you speak, if I had to take a wild guess.
I could do comprehend languages if I have 10 minutes.
That is up to you if you want to try to do that.
I don't know if I can do it quietly enough without being detected. I'm not sure how
That's
my
fair.
incantations are they quiet enough that it wouldn't hear me from 100 feet away, or
Um, it probably wouldn't hear you, but there is if you want to try first a maybe an insight check, you might be able to kind of get from the tone something useful.
okay. I could always move. Yeah, I'll do an insight. I could also move. Yeah, I'll do an insight first, just for fun.
That is a fun insight there. Natural 20.
Damn. Oh, damn.
So, the same in many languages, talking to oneself and complaining about food, weather, and sleeping arrangements by the sounds of it. Uh, it has the note of somebody being annoyed with somebody else too, somebody that's not there. A repeated almost name sound coming out, and then what you would take to be some sort of foul language of some sort in between.
Interesting. It's not Chaltish, right? So,
No, it is not Chaltish.
well, he remains fascinated and also terrified, hoping that he doesn't come their direction.
All right. So, as the rest of you spend the remainder of your watch kind of on edge, and a few of the guides, if they're told about the situation when they wake up, they'll help out with the remaining watches and keeping an eye over there. But by morning and in the daylight, you can't quite make out the camp where he was, but at some point just before morning, you did hear sounds of sheep bleating, like just in the distance, and then kind of that strange sound of the sheep bell that hangs off of them that you didn't expect out here in Chult, just off in the distance, and the sounds of a sheep herder moving onwards.
Is that sheep noises?
Yes, he was sleeping on a sheep. They're very docile. He seems to.
Was.
Oh, the Cyclops. Oh, you missed it. Yes, there was a Cyclops just last night. Almost killed me. It was terrifying.
You didn't think to wake me up?
Oh, you look so comfortable. I didn't want to wake you up, and you weren't in any danger. We all kept an eye out, right?
Well, great.
He was several
Great.
hundred feet off. Don't worry.
Okay. I'd appreciate it next time if you just wake me up. I feel like having more people in case of a fight will be helpful.
Duly noted. Duly noted. Everyone else wanted to go back to sleep, so I figured you wanted to as well. But certainly, next time I hear anything, I'll wake you up first.
Okay, thank you.
You heard that, everybody. We got to volunteer to investigate things. Wake up, Siobhan. There we go.
If you want something done right.
We could, yeah. Well, so we can check out the camp and look at the remains and sort of check the evidence there.
Mhm.
But you pretty much told us all that. Interesting. Well, how odd. I wonder what the sheep eat. There must be some kind of field, grass.
Jungle.
I mean,
Yes.
You're welcome to go and check out the area if you want.
Yeah.
You do know where it is, so it's a pretty easy walk within 200 feet of your regular camp. So you just kind
Yeah.
of push through the jungle, much easier now that it's daylight. And there's a large kind of clearing area that you knew he was in before, and everything looks roughly the same. You can see the old campfire where he had it running, and kind of a laid down pile of grass where he was sleeping. But the rock that he was leaning on previously, now that he's not leaning on it, looks to be carved in some fashion. And it
Hmm.
has a maze on an emblem in the front of this kind of robed and hooded figure. It's lost a lot of its detail over the years. There's a fair amount of moss growing up the side of it, but it does still appear to be a statue.
Hmm. Investigate. Hmm. This isn't just a rock.
It appears to have been carved in kind of what you would recognize to be antiquity, ancient Omu style, probably pretty old. Uh, Specifically, the maze you don't think represents anything in particular that you can remember, but you can see that there are slots and grooves carved into it to make it almost this 3D maze about the size of your head on the front of this chest
Hmm.
plate that it's wearing. The base itself seems to be set in the ground, but you don't think that it's buried or that there's an iceberg situation where there's more underneath of it.
Fascinating. There's no "you are here" symbol on there.
That would be nice,
Uh,
but no.
well, perhaps we should take a rubbing of this. And he'll pull out a sheet of papyrus and do a little bit of a pencil rubbing of the maze.
Sure.
Maybe it'll be useful later. Perhaps there's a dungeon laying about. Hmm. Could there be? Could we look around the area, like within like 50 feet, and see if there's any hidden entrances to some place, perhaps?
Sure.
Yeah,
I will help, or I will
these.
help investigate if you would like. I'll take the north side.
Okay. You can make 2 more investigation checks if you're kind of trying to check out the area and look for any old signs of life. Nice.
Cool. Ooh, doing pretty good.
Not bad either. All right.
Hmm.
So Clyde, a little bit where you're over there, there's a fair amount of older flooring and tile work and things like that. Nothing that screams secret entrance. Over where you're looking, Petrov, near the statue itself, there does seem to be a small lip around the outer edge of the base of the statue. You're not exactly sure how, but it seems like maybe it's meant to open. You don't know if that's in a secret entrance fashion or a storage fashion, but there is a
Does
seam.
it? If you push it, does it slide?
You make a strength check.
Sure, I'll try with my 0 strength.
Okay.
Oh, oh. Someone help me with this.
I'll go over and try.
Okay.
Just straight strength.
Yes.
Or athletics.
You can make an athletics if you want.
Woof.
Oh God.
That is correct. So 2 of you just kind of shoving against this thing. It occurs to you that maybe you're going at it the wrong angle. So you
Merrick's just doing it half-assedly.
Yeah, try it from this direction, and he'll try to do an assist so Mir gets an advantage maybe, and
okay.
he'll try to shake it. He'll do a little thaumaturgy and kind of wiggle it a bit, kind of loosen the jar lid.
Absolutely.
Doesn't seem to be the way to do it.
Yeah, it's
Maybe an investigation check to figure out how to move this thing.
you can try.
Giovanni,
Sure.
are they trying to figure out how to open a rock over there?
I
Yeah.
think so. It's quite entertaining.
Ooh.
Okay. I got a gold on Petrov figuring it out, okay?
Right.
Another 23 on investigation. Maybe that'll do it.
I think Merrick can do it.
All right, all
Right.
right. You're on.
Hang on,
So-
let me see if I actually have any money to be betting. I do. I have 2 gold. Okay, I can do this.
Amazing. Looking at the statue with the maze on the front of it and looking down to this thing, you look back up the maze and there's this small, almost pebble size rock that is inside of the grooves of the maze. You think
Ah,
if you were to move it all the way through the maze, perhaps whatever's under it would open?
this. Oh, this is adorable. And he sort of takes the little rock and starts, moving it through. It's probably something he could do again. He could probably do with thaumaturgy, just move a small rock around.
Mhm.
So he just sort of goes, sort of pointing it like it's a video game, and tries to make it through the other side to get it through the maze.
Amazing.
Nice
With
pun.
with amazing.
Yeah.
With that with that good reasonable investigation check, I won't have you make an intelligence check right now. You just spend your time carefully moving it through there. Uh Once you get all the way to the end of it, you hear this sort of grinding stone noise as it begins to just slide backwards, opening up into kind of a little bit of a carved stone pit that appears to have some highly decomposing burlap wrapped around something at the bottom.
Oh, now we're talking. Uh,
Don't mind
he
the
kind of
pressure.
looks to the others. He'll look to the others and maybe let Clive kind of do the
I'll
dirty
give
work.
Clive his gold piece.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, here, I'll put this in a special pocket so you can win it back later.
Oh, I will.
All right.
Now, what do you need, Petrov? You need some sacks plundered?
Yeah, there's a sack right there.
Okay. I'll go over with my thieves' tools and I'll check for traps inside the trap.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check looking for traps.
I can assist. That helps.
17. With the assistance, it will be a 22.
All right. You feel very confident that while it is not trapped, uh, snakes are really good at getting into areas like this. So it occurs to you to first, without even a thieves' tool, just do the smart thing of lift up the burlap with a stick. You watch as about 3 poisonous snakes make their way out of the sides of the area, and as long as you stay out of their way, they don't seem too concerned with your presence, but they are recognizably bright in color, and from your reading in the libraries, probably on the highly venomous side.
Well, that is a. Does anybody need a poisonous snake? Here's 3. I'll wait for them to shamble out, and then I'll check out what's inside the sack or underneath.
Okay. Uh, Pulling out underneath of the sack itself, you find yourself holding a wooden mask. Kind of fairly simply carved. You can tell that it used to have feathers that splayed along its top, but they're on the ancient side, so their bright green has turned into sort of a wilted, crusty situation. But the mask is still well carved, painted with really bright colors.
All right, I'll pick it up. Two-handed. Is it like regular sized mask? So it's like the size of my torso.
Roughly, yeah.
Okay, I turn around, put it over my head, and go booga booga booga, and kind of shake it.
Ah,
Here you go. Here. This was under the sack. Is there anything else in there other than the wooden mask?
Other than the wooden mask itself, underneath of the mask, you find 2 golden orbs that kind of looked like maybe when they were first put in there, they were meant to be eyeballs for the mask. You can see that somebody has charcoaled some little black pupils on the fronts of them, so that if it hadn't been disturbed, maybe the eyeballs would have been looking out as you opened it for a very dramatic effect.
Ah, hey, these orbs are supposed to be in its sockets. Petrov, I don't know. Are you a? This looks like archaeology or historical to me. So here's the. I'll just put the mask down. I'll put the eyes in the sockets. There you go. In situ. Only it was over there.
Petrov will begin to sort of analyze it and cast. It'll probably take a bit, but he'll do detect magic.
Okay.
To try to get a sense of the magic that's available here.
Gotcha. So, with your detect magic and with your general historical understanding, it's definitely ancient Omu. So this is some pretty old wood that you've got a hold of. It does have a magical aura to it, but not one so defined as to be a specific spell. It seems like this is probably a high priest's mask that would have been used in ceremonies and other things with them, with the ancient Omu people.
Mm.
Were one to run into a situation where one needed to pass as one, this would probably be super useful. In current day and age, it's an excellent museum piece.
Oh, worth quite a bit.
You would guess at around 500 gold to the right buyer.
Oh my, this is excellent piece. He'll basically describe like all the details that you said, to the point of being exhausting.
Siobhan's
Yeah.
eyes just kind of glaze over.
Now, a lot of people don't know this about the Onu, but they're very, very, insular, and they won't let people from outside. But if you wear this, we might be able to infiltrate them.
I thought they was all dead. Ain't they been missing for a long time?
Well, things don't stay dead. That's been my experience. Have you ever seen a
With
zombie?
with the soulmonger, they do. Apparently, nothing's staying alive now.
Well, is that a good thing?
And no, I haven't seen a zombie, and they said there was zombies everywhere. Oh, I'm sorry. Should we get on the river?
I think so. I think we've gotten everything we need out of this. Excellent work, everyone.
Everybody, I don't know why, but in my notes I have written down tree, pale blue bark. Look for a pale
Oh, yeah.
blue bark tree.
Right.
That's a component. It's a useful component, as I recall.
Yeah. So I'll look for blue bark today along the river.
Okay. So as the trip down the river starts, the day is a little bit misty, a little bit drizzly. You're all a little bit damper than you were yesterday, which is not a comfortable thing in the humid air of the jungle. Let's see here. Can I get one of you to roll me a d20 for your river mist survival check?
Just a d20, or you want a survival check?
Just a d20 unless you want to help with the survival check. You're welcome to.
I got a 13.
Okay, thank you. All right. Your day continues down the river pretty much without much in the way of issue. It's quiet. You can hear the sounds of insects here and there. You are able to mostly stay away from the clouds of them, and when you aren't, you're able to find some relief through your bug repellent that you managed to purchase. So as the day wears on, you can see off in the distance something that seems to be not running alongside the boats, but just occasionally, especially the ranger in your party. Here and there off to the side, flashes of eye, fur, ear, a tusk. You're not sure why, but you're fairly certain you're being followed by maybe a wild pig of some sort?
Hmm. But it's not like attempting to get in the water or anything. It's just following on land.
Not right at this moment. You can't get a really good view of it. It just seems to be kind of following the boat as it goes downstream. It could also just be headed the same direction you are.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on it as we keep moving.
All right. It's about an hour later. You've occasionally lost sight of it, regained sight of it a few times, and you suddenly hear this immense kind of tearing through that side of the jungle, and what sounds like a howl, but not one that you've heard come out of a wolf before. As the creature finally makes its appearance, kind of leaping out from the side of the river and turning your direction, you can see a large pair of hooves, red eyes, and tusks as a hybrid form wereboar stands next to the river where you are headed. And that's probably where we'll pick back up next time.
Oh. Da-da-da.
I'm here for the dramatic effect.